for being here for this class we're doing called The Heart of Young Living. I'm so excited to be joined by my friend Tanya Roby, who is a master in my mind of oils and young living. And thank you for sharing your time with us.
Thank you, Poa. I'm so excited to be here this morning and really happy to partake in creating this video class for all of you about the heartbeat of young living. And I'm going to hand it back to Poa in just a moment, but I feel really grateful, which is to say that I'm one of the few thousand people in the world that actually got the opportunity to partner with Young Living many years ago when Gary Young was still with us and the company was much smaller than it is today. I was introduced myself to Young Living through my partner, whose parents are healers and who were introduced to Young Living more than 20 years ago. And I'll be honest to say that when I was first introduced, first of all, I had no interest in essential oils. I didn't understand their power, their wonder, and I was honestly very resistant to a company because I knew that even back then that Young Living was a big company. And I kind of had this motto in my head of like, you know, I support small businesses, I support local farmers, like I don't want to be part of some big, huge company that's probably just out there to make money. And I was so pleased that what my early mentors said to me was like, I can't wait for you to discover more. In fact, meeting Gary Young himself and his incredible wife, Mary Young, who is our current CEO and the partner founder of the Young Living. And what I learned through my own experiences of seeing it with my own eyes and even putting it to battle with my big skepticism, what I found was that my hope was renewed. Not just for my potential of having a whole bunch of tools to feel better in my body and in my life and to be able to share that with friends, but hope restored in learning that there are big companies in the world that really, really passionately care about the planet and humanity. So I'll share a little bit later on more details in this class, but what I want everyone to know, which I think is something that gets lost, especially now that essential oils are such a hot market item, there's so many different companies out there doing things, is that Young Living started because Gary Young had a burning need in himself to shift, to transform. In his early 20s, Gary was in a very severe logging accident that paralyzed him, and he was put in a wheelchair and told that he would never walk again. And Gary was a cowboy, he was a farmer, he was a lover of the land, and that losing his legs was equivalent to him as losing his life. And so in fact, Gary did try to kill himself several times and failed. And when he realized he wasn't able to die, he realized he needed to learn how to live. And it was at that time that a friend, a fellow colleague in the healing arts, you know, said to him, Gary, have you ever heard of essential oils? At this point, Gary had already formulated lots of different supplements. He understood that our well-being has to do with what we put in and on the body and how we engage with life. He started really focusing on foods and diet, creating nutritional supplements, experimenting with fasting in himself to regain feelings in his body. And when he was finally nudged to move towards essential oils, now mind you, this was back in the late 70s, early 80s, and essential oils in the West were used strictly as perfumes, right? As smelling agents that we added into everything from toothpaste to shampoos and what have you. But the therapeutic use of essential oils, which is how they were originally used in ancient time, was all but lost to modern day society. And it was Gary, because of his grit, his passion, his determination to feel better in himself, that he set off on a path of research that would go on to change his life and all of our lives. And it's because of Gary's grit and research that therapeutic grade essential oils have been brought back to the West and are now expanding. Young Living started as the smallest mom and pop's store. There are some incredible photographs in Mary's wonderful coffee table book, World Leader in Essential Oils, where you can actually see, you know, Gary's tiny little stores, his handwritten labels on his little bottles. And what thrills me is that Gary committed to purpose over profit. Gary never founded Young Living because he wanted to become rich. Gary founded Young Living because when he found solutions, he wanted to share them with other people. And he made that his mission, his purpose, and it stands central to Young Living today. Some of Gary's final words, and words that he spoke many times before his passing, was the world doesn't need more salespeople. We need more healers. And Gary understood that healing comes from love. self-love, loving each other. And it was in that root, that foundation of love and the desire to be of service to others, that Gary regained full use of his legs, went on to give the last 20 years of his life, 25 years of his life, to giving his all to all of us. And Poa and I are just two examples of folks whose lives have been uplifted and moved by the bigger vision of a very heart-centered man. So that's just a little taste of kind of the essence, the heartbeat, the beginning of this company. I'm going to pass it over to Poa.
Thanks, Tanya. Wow. Even though I know those stories, it kind of still just like brings chills to me, thinking and hearing about all that he's done. So I wanted to speak just a little bit to what is Young Living, because I know when I talk to people, you know, they're like, oh, essential oils, or oh, I don't know much about that. I don't use essential oils, but really the company is so much more than essential oils. I think that's the root of it, the foundation. And Gary formulated a lot of products that are infused with the essential oils. So in essence, Young Living is an online health food store or online health market, like others out there, but different in that the essential oils and their grounding, like essence or frequency vibration, is in like all the products that or most of the products they're offering. So they have everything from supplements, various foods. There's body care, hair care, oral care, makeup. There's cleaners, soaps. So I'll go into that a little bit more later, but there's a lot more than just little bottles of essential oils that you can buy. And it's really kind of focusing on a holistic lifestyle and clean products and supportive products. And you know, something that's really near and dear to me, as well as Tanya, is the sourcing and where are these plants? They're plants, right? If you're unfamiliar with essential oils, they're the life essence that's distilled down from these beautiful plants that can support us. And so where are these coming from, and how are these getting to us is super important to me. And Young Living, it has all its own farms or partner farms all over the world where they get their products, and they are beyond organic. They treat their workers fair, and you know, the soil amazing, and that is so deeply important to me, because the quality of anything you're using is reflected upon the quality of where it comes from. And it is a network marketing company, which can be confusing to people, and it's a global network marketing company, meaning there's people partnered all over the world, and it's beautiful to see it, what in essence it is. Young Living is a mother company, if you will, umbrella company supporting all these local businesses. So when Tanya talks about, I like to support local farms and local business, you know, that does tie into this the way this company is set up as a network marketing company allows, you know, anyone all over the world to create their own home-based business. And I've heard stories from people in other countries that really didn't have many other opportunities, and then you know, started like anyone, started from the ground up in creating their own business through Young Living, and have really flourished and empowered themselves and their communities. So it's really beautiful in that way. And then there's all these other aspects. There's this global foundation that Young Living supports, which is about health and social justice, and various education, various projects around the globe that they pour their heart and soul and dollars into, and doing amazing work. So in essence, this essential oil company, online health food store, is a global company that's focused on health and on the environment, and as Tanya said, on love. It's really rooted in love, and I felt that, and I've seen that, experienced that, and hoping, and I hope I'm sharing in that as well, because it's so beautiful to me. So yeah, so I just wanted to share a little bit about how I became involved in this, because I a few years ago would have never ever said that I'd be involved in a network marketing company with essential oils, even though right now it seems so obvious to me that is something that is where my passions have been. And I was actually introduced to the Young Living essential oils through Tanya, like probably 7+ years ago, and her partner Tama, through a mutual friend here where I live. Tanya is in New York, I'm in Wyoming. And though I didn't really remember her and didn't, connect specifically that day, but I was introduced to these oils, and I trusted my friends enough, and I experienced the oils, and I was like, yes, someday I will get into these oils. But, it seemed a little bit cost prohibitive for me at the time. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that someday. I'll do that someday. But I, in the meantime, was into growing things and creating things and making my own potions and using other essential oils as a fragrance. And then it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, dealing with some physical issues after having a kid. And I was like, yeah, I'll try anything. I was at this point of, yeah, I need support, and I'll try anything for these physical issues I was dealing with. And got the starter kit with Young Living and launched into that, and was really blown away by the power of these oils. And more than the physical support, which I was feeling this emotional support in this time period in my life when I was completely overwhelmed. A lot of shifts had been taking place, and I was running a business and being a new mom, and trying to keep it all together. And these oils on the emotional, like spiritual, energetic level were hugely supportive. And I was like, wow, this isn't a fragrance, this is way beyond. And so I need to keep these products and these oils in my life. And then it just kind of grew and blossomed from there. And I think the thing that it was even more astounding than the emotional support from the oils was the communal support with Young Living as a company. Whether it was my one-on-one friends that had introduced me to that, to the bigger network of people on my Young Living team, it's called, which Tanya is part of that. They're states away, and they're like pouring love into me and support into me. And then once I went to the Young Living convention and felt that same immense like heartbeat, really, of pouring out love from the global community of Young Living when I was at this conference, whether it was the main speakers and CEOs to just people standing in line that had nothing to do with me, nothing to benefit from me, and are just giving me this like love and energy and support as this new person, they could tell from my name badge. And so I was just like, holy cow, this is really a business and a company based in love. And it's so profound. And then as I've been using and diving in heavily with the Young Living products for 2+ years, I'm just recently realizing how much I'm using their whole product line as a lifestyle support. It kind of started out a few essential oils and using them for certain things and really liking and feeling the support from certain oils. And then, we use their toothpaste and their cough drops, and we use their household cleaner, and I take their supplements. And, it's just like, it's getting deeper and deeper. And I'm realizing it's not just like a novelty, try something. It's like, oh, we need these things. And it's easy to replace the products. It's not like we're adding on all these extra expenses. We're subbing out toothpaste and cleaners and shampoos and that kind of thing, and loving the products. So it is something I can get behind and encourage people to check out, because it's not only just a clean line of product to use, it's supporting this bigger thing out there in the world of home-based business, of social justice movement with their foundation of organic, sustainable farmers in the world, and like this health healing mission that Gary had, and you can really just feel emanate through people when you talk to them. So yeah, and it's just it's interesting to me how, because I joined when the company was quite large, and Tanya talks about, for her it was big, it was like 5,000 people or something, and it's a lot bigger, but I think it's been growing for a reason, so I love kind of hearing the stories of the roots of the company, and how it all started. So thanks for sharing with us, Tanya.
Thank you, Poa. I want to say like 100 things. I'm going to try to keep it brief here.
Yeah.
There's a couple different things that I want to speak into, including a little more details about the roots of this company and the Young Living Foundation and the social justice movement and environmental movement that Poa is speaking into. But there are a couple pieces. One is that we are in a couple minutes going to have an experience with oils. And I know that some of you watching this recording might not yet have oils, and that many of you will. So if you don't yet have oils, you can still participate. But Poa mentioned a couple different things. What are essential oils and why and how do they work? And I think that I'm a yoga teacher. That's one of my callings, one of my vocations. And in yoga, we talk a lot about prana, or life force energy. Right. I think as humans, we know that when I exercise and eat well and move my body, like I feel better. Why? Because we're churning energy. And so this idea that what Young Living has to offer really is working on two different levels. One is this notion of essential oils when they are pure, and that is what is distinct and unique about Young Living, is the sourcing that Poa was talking about in the farms. When essential oils are pure, when they have been farmed in ways that don't pour poisons on them, herbicides, pesticides, chemicals, when they have been distilled in appropriate ways at just the right heat for just the right amount of time, the essential oils that we're then working with, Young Living oils, are living vibrations. Right? If you can understand the more quantum physics, this idea that everything in the world is energy, a bottle of essential oil is liquid light. Wayne Dyer, a keynote speaker at one of Young Living's convention, may he rest in peace, he talked about these as little bottles of God. This idea that we can take the purest light and life force from the planet and be able to put it directly onto the body and have those experiences. So in order to be working with frequencies versus smells, okay, aromatherapy has its own thing going, okay, about just smells, but we're talking about working with an essence, with a living frequency, right? And we get that because of the purity and the quality of Young Living essential oils. So then the other side of it, what Poa was talking about, is that if you aren't already familiar with the Toxic Substance Control Act of 1976, please Google it. Please Google it. I think we as a people are waking up a lot more to realizing that the labeling in our country, here in the United States, is not necessarily fully transparent or honest, right? There's a lot of us doing a lot more label reading, questioning what a lot of those big long words that we can't even pronounce on our label lists are, as science is catching up and saying, hey, you know what you put on your body actually affects the way that you feel. Right. And so when I used to use like a $2 bottle of shampoo and be massaging that question mark and who knows what into my brain, like, yeah, that might have an effect over time. And so when Poa's talking about swapping out, our shampoos, our soaps, our deodorants, our makeups, our supplements, right? Essential oils are infused into all the products that Young Living has, which helps our body be able to metabolize and take in the good stuff. But also it keeps a very beautiful boundary of not putting anything toxic or anything out of resonance with the earth into our home or onto their skin in the first place, which I think is life-changing, right? But I want to step back again to the farms, because the farms really are the heartbeat. When I got started with Young Living back in 2013, okay, this is only 7 years ago, our website looked like a spreadsheet. It didn't even look like a website. Why? Because Gary was not focused on marketing. When his executive team was like, Gary, we got to get these numbers up, we got to sell these products, he's like, no, we need more farms. Because I want essential oils in every home around the world, and we need to have enough farmland to grow this. And most plants take years before they're ready to be harvested. So I don't have time to update a website. I've got to go plant some farms. And to give you just another little tiny story, a little window into the essence of the company, Gary's first farm was in his backyard in Spokane, Washington, with seeds that he'd hidden in his boot and taken from France after his long studies with Jean-Claude. The first bottle of Young Living essential oils was distilled from a little mini distiller that Gary made out of pots and pans in his own kitchen. The second farm, or the first real farm outside of his backyard, was in Idaho, not that far from where Poa lives. There's the farm in Mona, Utah. And then the next farm that Gary purchased was in Guayaquil, Ecuador. Gary was aware that there are a lot of plants grown in tropical climates that can do amazing things for the body. And so he really wanted to have a farm there. But what Gary came to notice is that, the house that they were living in, and to get to the farm, that short drive from their home to the farm, they passed the one-room schoolhouse for that community. And this is a time where Gary literally was selling his own furniture to be able to buy plane tickets to get to Ecuador. Okay. And Gary's walking with Mary from their home to the farm, and he's seeing this one-room schoolhouse where the average graduation rate was pretty much 0. One school teacher for kindergarten through 12th grade, although there were very few children that got that far. And Gary said to Mary, you know what, we can't really work on this farm until we do something about the schools here. And that was the birth of the Young Living Foundation. Gary created a beautiful school that has now, I think, had 5 graduating classes, 100% graduation rate. This school provides meals, 3 meals a day to this community. And customers, people like you and me, have the option to donate to the Young Living Foundation. The Young Living Foundation has expanded tremendously over the last 20 years. We now have projects going all over the world. But what I love about the foundation and about the philosophy of this company was that the foundation doesn't come in and say, hey, guess what? We've got all the answers. Let us come in with our money and fix you. No. Right? From the essence, Gary and Young Living's philosophy is that we all have the potential to heal ourselves. We all have the potential to heal, to grow, to transform, and we all have a lot of superpowers, and that there are really powerful people all over the world. And so Gary was like, I want to find the people in the field who are doing the work and partner with their wisdom and help uplift people. Right? Not try to throw money at things to fix things, but rather how do we co-create solutions with people on the ground? So know that the Young Living Foundation, every single penny that goes into the foundation goes directly into the field, and that all of our partnerships in the Young Living Foundation are partnered with community members and their grassroots mission. And the reason that I come back to the foundation, the last thing I'll say about that is, Jared Turner, who's the COO of Young Living now, he told a story at convention one year about how, they would come in with like all this work that needed to get done, all the business work. And they'd get about 10 minutes into the conversation and Gary would say, stop, we've moved out of our heart space. Let's talk about the foundation. And they would work there with the foundation, with the heartbeat, with the resonance of that this company is about uplifting humanity and the planet. And then we'll worry about, making sure products are in stock and all of those other things. So I have never seen a company that has so much integrity and so much grit, and it lifts my heart up to know that now Young Living is a multi-billion-dollar organization, one of the fastest growing network marketing companies in the world. And this is a mom and pop shop gone bananas. And the reason it's gone bananas is because it's made it possible for people like me and people like Poa and the other thousands of leaders around the world to create home-based businesses to champion their business, right? Where we get to bring our superpowers, what we know, our passion, my knowledge of yoga, Poa's knowledge of food and gut health and all of these wonderful things, and be able to partner that wisdom to create homes, to create successful businesses of our own, which for me has been life-changing. It was not my plan. I started as an oiler, relieved to have the emotional support that I felt in my body when I used the essential oils. My grandmother passed very soon after I was first introduced, and it was Valor Essential Oil and Joy Essential Oil that helped me to get through my grieving process. And it wasn't until I felt my life change that I realized, oh, wow, this is in alignment with what I want to bring forward to the world. So it's just a snippet. I want to share a very quick experience, and then I'm going to pass it back over to Poet. What I love about the essential oils with Young Living is that they are so clean, they are so pure, they are absolutely safe to put directly on your skin. So those of you who already have starter kits or have your own collection, there's so many right ways to oil. Pick an oil of your choice. I reached for Valor, which has always been one of my very favorite oils. It's about courage. What do you have, Poa?
Joy.
Yes, these two go so well together. These are my first oils, Valor and Joy. That's so cool. So if you have an oil, go ahead and uncap it. And just allow for the oil to drip from the bottle into your palm. Valor's a beautiful purple, Joy is more of a yellowish color. From there, you rub your hands together. Our DNA spirals clockwise, and so if you spin the hands clockwise, you're beginning that spinning, sending your life force into the life force energy of these plants. And then you smell. And you ask your body, sweetheart, where does this frequency want to go? And you notice back of neck can be a wonderful place, easy access to the spinal column there. Your wrists are really wonderful places. Soles of feet can be great. And then bring the palms back up to the nose and take 3 full deep breaths in and out. Watching the aroma as it moves into the body. When applied topically, oils take only about 26 seconds to mix and mingle with the bloodstream. When inhaled, it's less than 5 seconds to activate the brain. So taking one more full breath in and out from the palms. And then if you would, just sit for a moment and bear witness. What do you notice? Name aloud inside your head. What are feelings, sensation, textures? What kind of support does this oil usher in for you? And that's how easy it is to oil. Do that every cup, do that several times a day for a week and let us know how you feel. I'm going to pass it back over to you, Sweet Poa.
Thanks, Tanya. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit more specifics real quickly about the different products that are available through Young Living. So like I mentioned earlier, they have essential oils, and I don't know how many, maybe 200 plus singles, and then different blends like Joy that I was just using and Valor that Tanya was using are a blend of different oils that do, have specific functions. They have supplements, like a liquid antioxidant Ningxia drink supplement, but more of a drink than there's also, traditional supplements, oral health, soap, shampoos, lotions, cough drops, sunscreens. Then their Thieves line is a cleaning line with laundry, dish, veggie wash, all-purpose cleaner, and beyond. There's toothpaste, floss, the cough drops, all that kind of stuff. They have different foods made out of an ancient einkorn wheat that is a traditional wheat that was almost lost, and Gary wanted to farm that and bring that back, and is often easier for people to digest, and so they make a lot of food products out of that. The Ningxia line, like I meant, they have different drinks made out of different things. A whole makeup line that, is clean makeup, which they're, is becoming more aware that that's an important thing. And then the essential oils do have properties that aid skin health. So they include essential oils in that can support skin in different ways. They have a brand new CBD line, which is super cool. They've got kids and baby stuff, baby products, animal stuff for animals. So just kind of like, and more like, I could, that was just like general categories, but there's a lot that this company offers in the way of just health support in various ways. So it's really amazing. And like I said, the support out there is genuine and amazing. And so for people that might feel like you don't know what essential oils are or how would they even start, like that is the beauty of this company, is you're not left to your own devices at a store trying to select and grab a product. There's Young Living itself has a lot of information. There's a lot of there's a third party like books and apps and resources, but apart from that, anyone that you would sign up under is your guide and your mentor. And so whether that's me or Tanya, even people that are in other teams are very supportive of each other. So if you have a question that someone can't figure out that's directly connected with you, there's so much resource to get you to this place of, and gentle resource. It doesn't have to be intense, but start where you're at, and oh, I'm kind of looking for this, or what would this product do, or just reading other people's experiences, like, oh, maybe that could support me. It's very loving and inclusive and supportive, and I just wanted to touch on that. So was there anything else you wanted to add, Tanya, before we closed up?
I just wanted to thank you again for emphasizing the importance of the heart of Young Living. I think that this is a time in our lives where we're really being invited to take a look at where we spend money, how we spend our time. And I love sharing a little bit more of Young Living's story. And I just wanted to say that, you know, the other piece that I really love about Young Living is that you can meet it wherever you are. And so I know I've referenced a couple times how much I am grateful to have my own home-based business in support of Young Living. And also just wanting to clarify that, you know, 95% of the folks who choose to shop at youngliving.com choose to be customers. And that's where I started, and it's where many stay, because it's just such a juicy, wonderful online health food store where all your goodies come right to your doorstep. And the option, the choice to start a home-based business is exactly that. It's a choice. There's no pressure to do that. But I know, again, in these times, that having a job where you can work from home at your own flexible schedule, completely online and in service to others, is something that a lot of us are seeking. And so I know both Poa and I share the story of thinking at the beginning, like, oh, I could never get into that. And that we both also share this now deep gratitude for how much our lives have been uplifted, and especially in these challenging global times, to have the support physically, emotionally, and financially. So just know that there's lots of options, and we are so happy to be of service to you. Thank you, Poa.
Yeah, thanks so much for your words of wisdom, Tanya, and for joining me. And thank you, everyone that's watching. If you're tuning into this class and just learning a little bit more about the company, and if any of this resonates with you, feel free to reach out to me or Tanya or whoever shared this video with you. I think, you know, like I said earlier, there's so much support. So if you're kind of curious and you just want to learn more, just reach out. There's I feel zero pressure from anyone to do anything. It's all about love and guidance and supporting others in choosing what works for them. So yeah, if you're interested in learning and getting some Young Living products and supporting a company that's like full of heart and supporting the planet and supporting the health of the world, be in touch. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Thank you.